Hello again, traders. Right, I attempted to make this video about 3 or 4 times, and in the end gave up. But after getting back from the beach today, I could see price was around here, and everything was looking wrong on the indicators, the momentum indicators. And what I tried to do effectively was just say, look, all you have to do is wait for the indicators to look perfect. And I talked about these. Oh, by the way, I'm still in the original trade from this morning, and look how it nearly took me out here, this spike down. But and all the levels are the same, or I may have changed this. No, I think I kept them the same. I literally just annotated a few bits and pieces, put an arrow there and the vertical on this chart, and then created a screenshot from it for Twitter. But as you can see, and I thought I'd make a quick video, the RH indicator here, Robinhood indicator, Robinhood from the forum, Forex Factory, gave us an arrow, perfect arrow. This is I did this manually. This is the RSI histo blue arrow. This is the 4 time frame HA blue green arrow, and this is the actual trigger candle. And as you can see, we broke through that this whole lot of I did move this up slightly, I think, to fit these on the H1 chart, the H1 open and close. That's it, I did do that. But because it was slightly low. If we look at H1, you will see what I mean. There, I moved it up slightly because that's the close, the close of the previous candle, the open of the new candle there, which is where I drew the level on H1, and that's the original H1 close, open, and a collection of closes and opens on these. And when I took the original long, I wanted to see a break of this level here. And all this coincides with the line chart levels, which is the whole point of this exercise, as it were, there. And that was the original trade that's still currently running. And now if you look at H1s, we've got a whole bunch of them here. And what happens when it closes through it, as I said just now on M30, we get a trigger, and that is what I trade. And I did extend this ascending trend line, didn't talk about that in the previous video, but we've got a high, a low, a higher high, or yeah, high, higher low, higher high, and then finally the breakthrough. And that is why this is a valid ascending trend line now. And note, price came back to that ascending trend line and went through it. And that's why, where people say, "I'll take the trade," you know, and just enter for various reasons, because it's a pullback. Let's put it that way. But it's all wrong. This is wrong. This is wrong. That is why I developed the method, because that pullback would probably have taken me out of the new trade, and but now I wouldn't be in the trade. Simple as that. And that is what I can't get across to people. You know, this is precision price action trading using multi-time frame momentum. And while I spent years and years developing the 3 candle reversal, and I can talk about 3 candle reversals in this whole outfit here, on right down to the M1 chart, and get you the precise entry as well based on M1 3CRs. Done that in the past. Made over 1,000 videos about it all in 2B reversals. And I traded naked candles and did that. But what that means you have to do, you have to watch the 3CR up. Then in an up move, if you want to get in a bullish move, then you have to watch it test back down. If it 3CRs down, you have to have a new 3CR up, and so on and so forth. And I kid you not, I sat with a client at the time, I have to be honest, years and years ago, we sat there for 5 or 6 hours waiting for an EJ long trade, and it just kept going sideways. And that's the 3CR for you. But all of these indicators now, you just set the indicator on. As you can see, pound yen is now it would be pinging and annoying people with the alerts, but I've switched the sound off. And that's, it makes life so much easier. No more sitting around for 5 hours waiting for a trade. You can just literally put it on your phone or whatever. So when people tell you indicators don't work, they are talking out of their arse, excuse my French. And this was the perfect entry. So you can see everything said on that candle there, said go long. Next candle, not just probably a pip or two drawdown, and then prices screaming up. Now, I talked about the shy channels in the previous video. We've got an R1 up here as well, so that's going to cause a problem. So on that entry, based on that candle there as the trigger, we have moved. So that's the new candle, that would be the entry. Allow a little bit for, break of the high maybe, or whatever M1 says. So let's say we just take it from the high there. So I'll start this again. The high of that wick there is the entry, and up to the R1, 22 pips. Give or take a couple of pips, it's actually about 23 takeoff spread and all that lot. And as you can see, it's bouncing around on that R1 now. Because of all this pullback and sideways, it will probably fire on through there. And I've put my take profit much higher. And now I'm using shy channels. This is the 0.1% running now. Remember, shy channels are repainting. They do change on the fly. And what will happen if this, like this one here, if it changes direction, then you'll get a downward shy channel. But you can get multi-time frame channels on these things. So I have got multi-time frame on here. So, for me, the shy channels are a new work in progress. But with all the bot work I'm doing, which is going extraordinarily well, I haven't got the time, the brain power or anything. Quite frankly, I collapsed this afternoon, but that was probably because I was doing nearly 3 hours aerobic water stuff, which is another story, just enjoying life to the max here. But that's it. So you've got the perfect re-entry, and really all you have to do, sorry, my mouse battery I think is running out, so is literally set alerts and wait, and then just double check everything. And I'm not going to go deep into the multi-time frame stuff, but that arrow, these are incredibly powerful Robinhood stuff. There, that's straight in, boom, new candle, up it went. Times of day, times of the hour, times of H4s and all that lot are pretty important as well. I said on one of the posts today, and I say this a million times, screen time cannot be avoided, guys. It cannot be avoided. There are no shortcuts, no matter what scammer tries to sell you a super duper ebook, 8 or 9 grand course. They are the ultra scammers. They might be traders, but they're not very nice people. And, you cannot avoid screen time. So don't pay for live rooms. Don't pay for Discord channels and stuff. If you're going to pay someone, pay them a couple of months or whatever, and just sit in there for a short while, exactly what I did actually, and then go it alone. Because it doesn't matter whether you take signals from people, signal sellers, what happens when they disappear? Doesn't matter whether you sit in a room and they give you a signal. What happens when your adrenaline, you've just made £1,000 in the room or whatever from following Joe Blogg's signals, and you've got so much adrenaline in you, because that is what I call over trading, adrenaline trading. that you go and blow it all 3 times over, because then you chase the loss, because you've been sat in a room and you have no idea what the hell or why the hell you traded. So you cannot avoid screen time, guys. And as I said in one of the outtakes of this video, the previous ones, forums are the absolute best place you can learn. That's a good, I'm glad I remembered that actually, because the other thing to say about this chart probably looks a complete mess. All the thick green lines, the 3, are all manually drawn lines. That's automated, that's automated, that's automated up there. All the shy channels, there's a downward channel there, there's an upward channel, they're all automated. All you need is the automated stuff. I just put manual stuff in for my own trading, and then, you know, like today, explaining what I'm doing. See how R1 has affected that price. That's why I scalp, guys. Why would I worry? You know, I'll get back in. Use the lower time frames to get back in. But make sure you use multiple lower time frames, and you're always aware of what's going on the higher time frames, like in this case H1, H4, and what time of the hour it is and the time of the day, and 1 hour news. But you know, what can I say? When this was like this, I tried to make a video just to say, literally, you know, go and do something more exciting, because it ain't until you get, this is a little bit not lagging, but it is just sometimes the original RSI histo bust, pullback, break and close. Go and watch the videos, just type bust in, and there are precision explanations about how I do that. This sale M15, I'm not going to show it now, but that is perfect entry, isn't it? You can see that with all 3 and the red arrow. But sometimes this will keep you out of a trade. And that is why I'm suggesting you get onto, say this is M30, you get onto M15 and you watch for the bust, pullback, break and close is the ultimate entry. This is just like, if you see all 3, then you are, you know, you are dancing before you, after you press the trigger, have a little dance. So that's it. And you know, RH, Robin Hood, fantastic trader on Forex Factory, in my opinion, real deal. You know, just reading what he says 10 times over cannot be a bad thing, you know, and that's what I do. If I find a good trader on a good thread, I'll read it 5 or 6 times, make PDFs of it, probably never open them again, although bit of a lie there, because, you know, as I said to you, if you disappeared, like this instance here, that FXI pivots, and that's the blue daily pivot, that will have come from a thread about pivot point trading, and I learnt that thread until my eyes bled, and then but I couldn't trade it. And like the another one, Sonic Dragon, been on and off my charts for years. I put it on my charts occasionally to aid other traders, and you know, as a learning, like stabilizers, bicycle stabilizer bars, wheels, because it's another check thing. And you know, all my indicators are all about tick boxes, if you like. Check that's correct, check that's correct, check that's correct. Check the shy channels are in the right direction. Check if I've just broken, because on a lower time frame, this will have closed through that shy channel. And that, when it does that, like there's a scalp, and you know, here, and a scalp up to the, you know where it's going. It's almost guaranteed to try and test a pivot when you get the correct signals here. If you don't get the correct signals there and you try and hit that pivot, it will probably fail because you haven't got multi-time frame momentum. And this is what I don't really make clear to people, you know. I mean, price, it will look like it's failed, but it hasn't failed, because either the time of the hour wasn't correct, the sequence of the candle closes, like an H1, M30, M15, were not correct. you might have been trying to enter when H1 was ready for a pullback, a close and a pullback. So you cannot, again, that's all about screen time. You cannot avoid it. So, and this is something I brought up in a previous video as well. You cannot learn trading from back history really, because the context will all be wrong. And I've used this in the sort of explanation about dumping perfectly good indicators because I didn't really understand how to use them properly. Another reason, you know, don't disbelieve people. There's so much rubbish out there now with traders. Even the old, you know, the old guys. I'm not saying they can't trade. They can trade, and they can trade probably 10 times better than me. But it all has to be taken in the right context. So there's so much there, guys. So what can I say, really? This I was just waiting for it all day, really. Fact is, I was out, but it doesn't matter because I wasn't literally waiting for it. I was enjoying myself on the beach. You know, there's trades everywhere. And one thing I will quickly say before I go, Asian session is unbelievable. I cannot believe how good the Asian session is. You know, I'm all done by 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning most days. It's just, and I'm talking about 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. In fact, yeah, I often wake up 3 o'clock in the Asian session, which is about midnight in the UK, but 2 or 3 o'clock in the UK, and I'm done. It's incredible. But going back to this example I gave you about pivots, so you can learn a pivot strategy and you might not be able to trade it. You could learn how to trade the daily open, and I have developed a strategy to trade off the daily open, like this situation here, which is what I traded really. That was a big deciding factor, along with all the other stuff, that I wanted to be long, because I'd come back and tested the daily open. If I looked at this on the 5-minute, 1-minute chart, it would show you, but something's lagging with all my indicators and other stuff that I've got going at the moment. So in fact, I've got about 7 terminals open at the moment, so it's hardly surprising it's lagging. But yeah, I mean, it came back, it's gone up off the daily open, come back, tested it around here, and then if it's held, and it should have been a long trade anyway, it was all about longs today, then that's another trading strategy. So, and when you put them together, getting back to the pivot trading strategy that I failed to learn at, when you put them together and then you bung the Sonic Dragon on here, and you've got all the other stuff, shy channels and that lot, and then you've got your multi-time frame momentum. And I should also add that most indicators will work. You know, you can get all anal about, oh, the RSI histo is the best, and I will get anal about that myself, actually. It is what I consider to be the best, because it's built on candlestick trading strategies, the 2B and the 3CR, which came a bit later. So when they, you know, you get basic 2B reversal rules from the trading god Vic Sperandio, and then all I've done is add multi-time frame momentum to it and made sure that these agree, you know, only trade 2B reversals with Vic Sperandio's original rules, the poke bar, the trigger bar, etc. Long in an uptrend, internal 2B reversal and so on. When these are perfect, and how can you go wrong? Then it's just a waiting game. And if you set your alerts, then you're not going to get faked into bad looking trades, because without a shadow of a doubt, when these alert, you will almost certainly be in 100% multi-tick box situation. And then literally, so you wait for your alerts, you check all your boxes, or you've made your plan, then you get your alerts, and then you check all your boxes are ticked. And if they ain't, just walk away, because you've got umpteen choices. I was talking about US 30 and US 100 earlier. They were showing perfect, you know, all green like this pound yen. So almost certainly there would have been perfect setups there. This was all perfect, so I guarantee. So you're inundated with choices. None of this waiting around for silver bullets and all that crap with ICT and IFVGs and FVGs and God knows what else, and then make-believe price targets. You've got proper targets. Who cares if that goes another 50 pips? You've made a plan. You've calculated your reward risk, because basically all I do is look at VIX Brandio stuff. And as I said in the previous video, I think, because I remember I've made a few faffs and deleted some, but if you watch 1,000 2B reversals, then you can build your own rules as to where your stop loss should be. So, you can increase the reward risk just by screen time. Anyway, thanks for watching. I hope this has had some value for you. I'm off out to hit my local bar now. Bye for now.